I had a conversation yesterday with a very, very good friend of mine, somebody that I've referenced on this show before. He is a writer in the Pro Football Writers Association of America. He gave me a call, and every time he pops up on the caller ID, you stop what you're doing and you answer that call. And look, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take great pains to do this for everybody out here, because I know people in this town are going to flip out. They're going to say, that's not very journalistic of you. All I'm doing is tell you about a conversation I had with a friend that has credibility that is second to none. All right? A guy that I trust implicitly. So here's the deal. Had a conversation yesterday. He said, hey, here's something you might be interested in there in Detroit. We know about what's going on around the NFL, about Trey Hendrickson and his situation. Now, TJ Watt in Pittsburgh's name has popped up. He's not going to show up to camp. He's desirous of a deal getting done with Pittsburgh. So here's the deal. According to my source, TJ Watt had a conversation with another NFL player. Now, first off, TJ Watt is desirous to stay in Pittsburgh. Let me say that again. He is desirous to stay in Pittsburgh. That is his first choice. However, if something cannot get done, quote, he would really enjoy playing for Dan Campbell in Detroit if something were not to get done in Pittsburgh. That is TJ Watt saying that. He would really enjoy playing for Dan Campbell in Detroit if he's unable to get something done in Pittsburgh. So the writers around town and everybody else, just calm down for a second, all right?
Oh my gosh.
Nothing is imminent. I'm not saying a deal is in place. I'm not doing any of that. What I'm telling you is what I was told the man said.
I have no pants on.
To another NFL player. If he can't get a deal done in Pittsburgh, he would really enjoy playing for Dan Campbell in Detroit. So do that. Do with that what you wish. That is what I was told by a Pro Football Writer Association of America writer per a conversation he had. So there you go.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
I love it. And it makes sense, right? Everybody wants to play for Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's the fucking man. The Lions are a great team. Every single player that has ever played for Dan Campbell. This is the best coach I've ever played for. This is the best environment I've ever played in. You heard DJ Reed call it football utopia to our guy Doc Macaroon got the quote on that one. There's no way in hell the Detroit Lions have TJ Watt on their team next year. There is absolutely 0% chance.
I can't see it, but I think the overriding point is exactly what you just said. For years, the Detroit Red Wings were a legitimate destination for a multitude of reasons. It started with Mr. Ilitch. It started with how he took care of the guys, even with facilities that I know nobody likes to say this because we hold the Joe so near and dear to our heart, were awful. That rink was terrible. You ask anybody that had the misfortune of playing there, they would go to other rinks and see how other people lived, okay? But you had for a while Scotty Bowman, who, while he was, Scotty Bowman, everybody wanted to play for Scotty Bowman because you knew you had a legitimate shot at winning a Stanley Cup. And that's where we're at right now with the Detroit Red Wings. There is the Detroit Lions, the word gets out, okay? Much like years ago, the word gets out that the Detroit Lions were a bad franchise, and you're just going to have to trust me when I say that was the thing. It was. Don't go to Detroit. They don't take care of you. They had celebrations for guys when they left the Detroit Lions. That culture has 100% changed. It is a different dynamic right now. And at the end of the day, I think just the fact that Detroit is a name that pops up as possible destinations tells you everything you need to know about what the reputation is about the Detroit Lions franchise right now. And Dan Campbell's a huge part of it.
No, and look, guys, like, here's the deal. Everyone's saying, and even you, Spenny, like, here, you want the roadmap for how it could happen? If nothing's going to get done with Pittsburgh, and this is Pittsburgh we're talking about here.
But we can't do
No,
that.
no, Spenny, here's the roadmap. If everyone goes into this with their eyes open, including TJ Watt, and this is Pittsburgh we're talking about, Spenny, are they, do they make it rain in the club with a
No.
Winn-Dixie shopping bag?
Not really,
Not
no.
exactly, right?
No.
If Watt says we can't get this done, then he's going to say, then get me out of here.
But
And here's the deal. I'm not saying you're going to sign him to an extension, but the bottom line is if nothing can get done and things get to an impasse, and he says, I am not playing for Pittsburgh. I'm not. Then what
But
are we doing?
if he's not playing for Pittsburgh because they won't pay him, he's not going to play for the Lions if they don't pay him.
Well, I mean, it's still $30 million, though.
Yeah, but he wants long-term commitment and guaranteed money, and because you could go out there and you could tear your ACL on any play. So
doubt.
He's not. It's just like Trey Hendrickson. Neither of these guys are going to play next season unless they get big long-term extensions worth $40+ million.
The only possible way that happens, and I can't tell you how minuscule the chances are, Spenny, but I would be remiss if I didn't say this, is I want to be at a place where I legitimately have a chance to win, and then I can parlay that into a bigger contract someplace else. That's and again, Spenny, my fingers can't stay that close to talk about the possibility. Does it exist? I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. Does it exist? Yes, but
that's the roadmap.
I tend to agree with you,
and I do too.
I think it's minuscule.
Yeah, no, I do. Like, hey, bet your children on
Right.
TJ Watt being
Right.
here next year. No, I'm not going to do that. But I'm saying there is a roadmap. And look, this is Pittsburgh and Cincinnati are very close cousins. More on Cincinnati later in the NFL football.
I agree with that.
But they are very close cousins.
I agree.
But for some reason in Pittsburgh it works and in Cincinnati it doesn't. But whatever.
You know what? And I think that you nailed right on the head, Neil. Pittsburgh will find a way to make the playoff and lose, and Cincinnati will be, like we talked about last year.
I'm back bowl.
The I'm back bowl. Don't worry. Here they come.
They should make Cincinnati play Dallas every year in the beginning of
Are they
November.
on the schedule again? Please tell me they are.
Every year in the beginning of
need
November.
That was
They
so
could
good.
sell it as a one-off to whatever streaming network they want to do, the I'm Back Bowl.
That was so
Winter
damn
is
good.
back.
Oh my gosh, was that good? And now with Dak being back, oh my goodness gracious, that would be so much fun.
Yes. But again, guys, I'm not reporting it. I'm just saying what was said.
Damn it.
That's all. I'm just saying what was said.
And I 100% believe that he said that because, like I said, who wouldn't want to play for Dan Campbell? Who wouldn't want to play for this Detroit Lions team and this coaching staff when everybody except for Terrell Crosby that has played for him is like he's the greatest coach of all time? I'd go to war for this guy. I'd die for him. Yeah, I mean, would I like to have TJ Watt? Yeah, for sure. It's not going to fucking happen. Not a chance.
It has to get ugly in Pittsburgh, right? It has to. It's the only way. If
we
you
would
were
have
TJ
to pay him.
Watt-
The only way he plays for us is if we pay him, and they're not going to. And we can't.
But I would say this, though, Spenny. Just put yourself in his shoes, and this is me. If it gets to the point where it breaks down and it's not going to happen, where they say, no, we're not giving you a deal, then I would say, get me out of here because I'm getting my $30 million and I'm playing somewhere, but it won't be here.
Yep. And
That's it.
shout out to Thomas in the Woodward Sports Chat with a quick breaking news. He says MSU has signed Adam Nightingale to a 5-year extension. So shout out to Coach Nightingale, much deserved. And this is the year. It's natty or bust.
Jason R. Neil, don't start this shit. You know he ain't coming here. Never said he was.
He didn't say he was. He said he loved.
I love listening to you on your show, but shame on you, sir. This is the dumbest take I've ever heard from you. Jason, please rewind the show and told me where I said, I right now, Neil Rule of Woodward Sports, am reporting that TJ Watt is packing his bags and coming to Detroit right now, that a trade is imminent.
Clip it.
I did not say that.
Take that part out.
I'm just the clip says otherwise. Says the guy who cuts the clip.
It's me.
Spoiler alert! It's me, says Chase. Okay, Jason, I did not say that. I'm telling you a conversation that I was alerted to. That's it. Sean? Didn't I go through great pains to say this? Didn't I set this up? Didn't I put the disclaimer out there?
He is desirous of
making it work in Pittsburgh.
If it doesn't work in Pittsburgh, he would love to play for Dan Campbell. How's that?
And who wouldn't?
Right.
Who wouldn't want to play for Dan Campbell? I want to play for Dan Campbell. Everybody wants to play for Dan Campbell. We hear Michael Parsons said he wanted to play for Dan Campbell. Max Crosby said he wanted to play for Dan Campbell. And we know that our guy Brad Holmes was in the trenches trying to get an edge rusher. We know he called about the Neil Hunter and Max Crosby and Myles Garrett and all that stuff. But it's already past the point. If you were going to trade for one of these guys, it was going to be 2 years ago or last year when Hutch was not about to get a $40 million a year contract. So TJ Watt's going to be in Pittsburgh for the rest of his career.
You think for the rest of his career?
I think outside of maybe the last 2 years where he bounces
outside
around
of that
somewhere,
where everybody goes to Arizona for a year,
like Joey Bosa now going to the Bills. Okay,
Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, he's going to sign a long-term extension with Pittsburgh.
That right there is why Barry Sanders is better than Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith. And you hear Pat Summerall just say it, and he went to Arizona, and he did Arizona things while in Arizona, no doubt about it.
Just a fan. Neil says it, then say, I'm not reporting it. Why are you bringing it up? Clickbait. Because a friend of mine is a Professional Football Writers Association of America writer and called me yesterday to tell me about it.
And it's not clickbait. That's what he said. He has not tried to deceive anybody.
No matter what.
Do you know what clickbait is?
If he doesn't come here, that's still a good thing. Again, guys, the reputation around the league is a complete 180 from what it used to be.
Yes.
Nobody came here.
And that's the moral of the story.
Guys couldn't wait to get out of here. This is a true story, and if you don't believe me, ask Terry Foster. This is a true story. When guys were able to leave here, players had parties.
Yes. That
is a true story. Congratulations. Simeon, you made it. You're out of Woodward. We're taking you out to drink tonight. That is a...
Then you say I'm trying to recover from last weekend. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, boy, that was weak, dude.
Sorry, I hijacked it.
That was like Missouri S&T stuff, not Missouri stuff,
no.
Okay? But, you know, at the end of the day, Neil, that's a good thing. It's a darn good thing that our reputation is as such.
Absolutely. You haven't heard I haven't heard in my life, in my lifetime, in my 28 years of life, I have never heard somebody, aside from the past 2 years, go, I want to play in Detroit. I want to play for the Lions. I want to play for Jim Schwartz. I want to play for Jim Caldwell. I want to play for Rod Marinelli. I want to play. No, that was never a thing. Now, everybody, if you asked, I would say a vast majority of players aside from your team, if you could play on another team, who would it be? I bet the majority it would be Lions or Chiefs. Chiefs, you're going to be in the Super. Chiefs, you're going to be in the Super Bowl. Lions, they've got one of the best
and Eagles and
structures in football right now. It's
and I want to play for the Eagles,
man.
Guys want to play for them.
It just does.
And that's what this is. This isn't the Lions are going to trade for TJ Watt. No, this is good players want to play in Detroit, and that's a good thing.